Once you let the light in, you won't see the beautiful stars shining down from afar. No, I ain't afraid of the dark. I don't mind the rain, bring your life back. We can breathe again when dealing with the pain. No, I don't mind the rain. And ooh, that's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And ooh, like a river flows, life will take you where you need to go.
Okay, so as you saw in the last couple of clips, we were at Disney World, and in the past videos that I've done, I've not really spoke about what type of camera I was using. Right, that was kind of the whole purpose, the whole point of the video, was that it was more of like a journal type entry, or me working through like a series of thoughts, or whatever it was. And so in this video, I kind of wanted to make a video trying my hand at reviewing a camera, and specifically my buddy bought this Canon Sure Shot 85mm zoom. I think he got it from an estate sale or maybe a thrift store of some kind, but he got a good deal on it, and he wanted to turn around and resell it. He's not a photographer, he's not into cameras, he's actually into video games, but he just got a good deal on it, saw the resale, wanted to make the money. So he wanted me to take it, make sure it was operational, and use it. So I thought, hey, I'll make a video, maybe do a little review, try my hand at it at least, and then I'll give you the shots to where you can post the camera and turn around and sell it. So in the past, when I went to Disney World, I've used just about every single camera that I own, except for one, and I'm not going to talk about that one, maybe later in another video. But I've used my iPhone, I've used my Nikon F3, I've used my Sony ZV-1, I've used my Minolta Freedom Zoom, I've used this Minolta AF35 Big Finder. I've used, is that all of them? That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. I've even used a Canon AE1 program before in the past. So I've used a wide variety of cameras at Disney World. A7R3, I don't know if I said that one or not, but anyway, from all the way from a phone, through film, through point and shoots, all the way up to a pretty, in my opinion, pretty serious digital camera, mirrorless camera. And this one falls, so if I was rating off of like ease of use, comfort, and this is specifically talking about Disney World, but you can kind of relate it to just walking around town or on a trail somewhere or whatever. If iPhone was the easiest because you could just put it in your pocket and take it out and snap a picture, and the Sony ZV-1 is really close to that because it can fit in your pocket too. I put a little viewfinder on mine just simply because I love the viewfinder, not this specific viewfinder, but I just love having one. So being able to bring that up to my eyes is really nice. But it's pretty close. If you didn't have that viewfinder, you could put it in a jacket pocket or a pants pocket. So those are pretty close as far as like ease of use. And then it goes all the way up to like your film cameras. To me, the A7R3 kind of falls somewhere like maybe in the middle because you have to wear a strap or you have to have like a little camera sling or something like that. But as far as taking it out, taking photos, it's fairly easy. To me, the further end of that ease of use is your film. Is your point and shoots probably next, and then your like Nikon F3, or if you were using 120, that would be the higher end because most of the 120 formats are pretty big cameras. So carrying that around Disney World would be, or carrying that around in general would be, is pretty tough. And then right below that, it's like 35mm SLR. You know, because if the light meter works in your camera, that's great, but they're normally a little bit heavier. They're not so easily kind of, you know, people look at you is what I'm trying to get at. They're not so easily undetectable. Like, people are like, what is he using, like a film camera? Well, they're going to be paying attention to you. So I would probably kind of put those right underneath that. And then your point and shoots is kind of like mid to leaning towards the a little more difficult of use. This camera, though, I would probably put... This camera I would probably put right on par with the A7R III as far as ease of use. It's small, it's really light, it can fit in your pocket, it can fit in a little tiny like sling bag or whatever you have. I'm not a super big fan of the way that you turn it on. My Minolta Freedom Zoom is a button. This Minolta, all you have to do is open up the lens door, and then it's on and ready to go. This one, you have to turn a dial in the back, and there's a couple different options. This is not going to be a review that I discuss all these different options and how you can work the camera and this, that, and the other. It's literally just going to be practical. You're brand new into film, somebody hands you this, you want to be able to just turn it on, shoot the pictures. What is it like? So there's the green auto function on the back of the camera. You turn it on, and then it opens up. And that's kind of it. I'm not a super big fan of that. I like the button or the slide of that lens door more so than this dial. It's kind of awkward. It definitely takes two hands because you have to hold it with this hand, spin it with this hand. The Minolta Freedom Zoom and this one, it's just a one-hander type situation. Other than that, it's not that big of a deal. You do have a couple different functions on here. Like I said, I'm not going to go into them. This is just basic, simple, straightforward. From what I understand, all of the functions on the camera, if you wish to use them, are great. This particular one, they all function fantastic. The one thing that was kind of weird at first for me to kind of work through, this Minolta 35 is just it's just 35. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. It's got a big viewfinder on the back. That's the reason why I call it Big Finder. It's actually really nice compared to the Minolta Freedom Zoom, which is like, it feels like the size of a grain of rice, and same way with this one. So though you're only limited to 35 with this, it is nice having this massive viewfinder in it. But anyway, this is not a review for this one. Maybe some other day, because that one's my personal one. Was the zoom. The Minolta has a rocker on the back that you can zoom with. The zoom on this camera is in the front. The zoom in and out are buttons in the front of the camera. So right here, let me see if I can get it. Right here, you zoom in, and then you zoom out. Or that one might be zooming in. Yeah, that's zooming out. The bottom one zoom out. The top one is zooming in. So that was kind of weird to begin with. I kept trying to, and that's just probably because I was used to the Minolta. I kept trying to feel around with my right thumb on the back of the camera, and then I remembered, oh, it's this. But I will say, once I got comfortable, once I got used to that, I prefer that so much more than I do the rocker on the back, because naturally your hands are kind of just, they're going to sit on that location. And I guess maybe you could say the same if you're holding the camera, up, your thumb might sit on the rocker on the back in a comfortable position, like spot. But to me, the buttons in the front were just, they just became second nature after a while. If you saw a composition and you weren't really sure, about it, like if you wanted to be a little bit closer, a little bit further out, standing there and kind of being able to just adjust like on the fly with your fingers in the front of the camera was really nice. I did use a flash a good bit on this. It worked out great. As far as the focus goes, there are a few images that I have that the focus was terrible. It did not focus at all. But I will say majority of the photos, the focus worked great. It was fine. Now, as far as the lens goes, it's a 35 to 85 millimeter Canon. Hang on one second. I'm sorry, not 35, 38 to 85 millimeter Canon, and it's all right. Kind of how I feel about it. maybe later in the future when I get better at reviews, or if I even want to continue reviewing cameras, I can be a little more precise about how I feel about the lens. But to be honest with you, the Minolta Freedom Zoom that I have to me is a little sharper. The focus is a little better, and I just enjoyed that lens a little more than I do this lens. And even this lens is actually pretty sharp for it. Just, I mean, it's just a 35, so I mean, naturally it's probably going to be a little sharper. But this one was just okay. But overall, as poorly done as this review is, if you're looking for some reason at getting a random point and shoot that's cheap, this Canon Sure Shot 85mm is pretty spot on. I would say I would highly recommend it, especially if it's your first point and shoot camera. The loading is easy in the back. Opening the film door is super easy. Obviously they pretty much all are, but yeah. So we'll continue.
Cause with eyes that's been through life, it's so much easier to see who I am and who I wanna be. No getting old, don't bother me. Truth can be a bitter pill, but it'll do you right and set you free the way a lie never will. Like climbing up the steepest hill. Truth can be a bitter pill. That's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And like the river flows, life will take you where you need to go. You what you need to know. Ooh, like a river flows, life will take you where you need to go. And that's the way it goes. Life will teach you what you need to know. And like a river flows, life will take where you need to go. One day, like a tidal wave, a hurricane, like a thunderstorm, the pouring rain, it comes rolling in. Right away, oh, it hits you like a ton of lead. Oh yeah, it'll mess with your head. You won't know where to begin. You can't keep up, you fall behind. You lost your aim, can't clear your mind. Like a fire burning wild, a freight train you can't stop. Like a nightmare, but this time you don't wanna wake up. It pulls you in, it takes over, you just can't let go of the worst best thing.